On the 5th day of censorship, my Facebook gave to me 5 failed posts. 4 bands and groups, 3 Russian bots, 2 software fails, and a declining share price for FB. Looking at the sun in 171 angstroms. We got some serious magnetic looping rising on the east. Looks like a sunspot to me. What do you think? Can't see the magnetogram yet, but keeping an eye on that one. Keeping an eye on ions from that one. Keeping an eye on the ions. Here's the full resolution version of that in 304 angstroms. You can see there's a little igloo rising right there. See that little igloo? Could be a snow Eskimo living on that. I have to keep watching. Got some other big filaments in the northwest. Check that one out. A high-res image. Quite large, probably about 2 Earths in diameter total. Maybe an Earth in diameter, something like that. And here's your magnetosphere movies. Magnetosphere still looking extremely weak and extremely angular. Heliospheric current sheet is still pointing way to the north. This is your velocity. Here's your density. You can see these waves of solar wind coming in at different densities. Not a lot going on. Activity is weak. And here's the pressure. See pieces of the magnetotail getting split off down here. Super weak activity. Let's look at spaceweathernews.com for the data. Merry Christmas, Ben Davidson. My mom and her boyfriend will receive a Weatherman's Guide to the Sun, 2nd edition, in a couple of days. How about it? You can see the X-ray flux quite flatlined. BTBZ is actually convergent. Actually, let's look at the real time. It looked like a small uptick in the solar wind density, so here we are on real time. So BTBZ is quite flat and pretty convergent on the 0 line. There's some power there, but not a lot of angle. Excuse me. And solar wind speed looks like it's about 350 kilometers per second. Solar wind density at 4.09 protons per cubic centimeter. And the phi angle is way up. So no significant sun to earth connection. Back to spaceweathernews.com. There's your GOES magnetometer, looking totally normal now, although still in a bit of a tight range there. A bit on the weak side, but fairly smooth compared to what we've seen in the past days and weeks. KP index is back to 0, so human health cosmic ray alert. Be keeping an eye on that. And let's just let this play through once or twice. For those of you who are not aware, we're looking at, this is basically the inner heliosphere. This white line here and here is the heliospheric current sheath. And here you've got the Parker probe. Love that Parker probe. And then here's your stereo A, your stereo B, Spitzer, and some other satellites. Keep in mind this is a model and a prediction, not raw data. Here's your electron flux. Not super high, pretty moderate there, and quite smooth. So nothing to really comment on there. Charging hazards are very mild, if any. And the F2 ionosphere looks quite normal, actually. Some anomalies in that last night. We're not going to cover it today. Now let's talk about cosmic ray flux and our favorite cosmic ray source, Cygnus X3. Gotta have it. Now, this is one of the cosmic ray sources that is really well known, one of the most famous ones, emanating from the constellation Cygnus, and the star associated with this is called Deneb, which is a precessional celestial North Pole at the other end of the precessional cycle. Now, this thing is sending cosmic rays all the time, especially to the northern hemisphere, with a periodicity of about 4.8 hours. This insanely massive object is rotating around its Wolf-Rayet star, and one of the jets is pointing right at Earth. Known about this for a long time. I believe it was discovered in the 70s. And if you notice, look at this graph right here. This is the multi-year graph. You can see the largest reading that we have coincides with the same time as the highest cosmic ray flux at all the cosmic ray monitors. And we will leave links below to all of these sites that we visit. Next, I'd like to direct you to a great Russian site that has a huge list of cosmic ray monitors. We like to use Athens. Some of these are shut down, some of these are dead links, but it's still a really good spot. I mean, tons of different cosmic ray monitor sources there. Now let's look at Athens, Greece. Most recently, and those are daily numbers, by the way. I think those are daily numbers. Yeah, daily numbers. So we had a little spike just after midnight UTC, and it's actually dropped back down, so no significant change at Athens. Mexico's still a slight uptrend, but that uptrend has weakened. There's actually a small dip in cosmic ray flux. And Moscow more or less agrees. Going to Oulu, Finland. Oulu, Finland's a little bit more finicky. But, yep, it pretty much agrees also. No significant increase in cosmic ray flux. Now, at the Oulu, we'd like to pay special attention to this. Something you can do if you'd like to see, a certain date's cosmic rays. So just click on this link up here, solar/geophys. And that will bring up this screen. And for instance, what we did here is we put in November 2008 through December, basically through yesterday. And we did a run for that. You'll get an instant run. You get the data. And the reason we're showing you this is because cosmic ray flux is not at the highest it's ever been. All the monitors agree that around 2009 to 2010 was the highest levels we've ever measured. Right now we're very high, close to that, but we're monitoring this very closely because it's totally correlated with solar cycles. Those of you who are not aware, cosmic ray flux is inversely proportional to the 10.7 centimeter radial flux and the sunspot number. So in other words, the more sunspots and the more solar activity you get, the less cosmic rays. The less solar activity you get, the more cosmic rays. Also, you can see the solar maximums at the bottom of the feature. And let's go to quakes.globalincidentmap.com. Look at the last 10 hours of earthquake activity. 4.9 in Indonesia. A 4.0 in Indonesia at depth, so they should stay on alert for a mid-4. And otherwise, pretty much a lull. Russia gets another 5.0 in that area that's been getting swarmed. And a 4.9 in New Caledonia. So basically a lull in earthquake activity. Also, for our hardcore data crunchers, we're going to leave a link to this. We have not gotten anywhere near going through this. This is the Goddard Space Flight Center data facility. And as you can see, 2,549 results about data. So there are a lot of pieces of data to look at here. Again, we'll leave links. Help us go through this. Since there's thousands of results, it's going to take a while. A lot of times the data is hard to find, but the truth is out there. And let's take a quick look at the magnetometer, the magnetogram on solar ham. Remnants of a sunspot are setting, and nothing visible yet rising. We'll be keeping an eye on the eastern limb of the sun to monitor that incoming sunspot.
'Twas the night before Facebook, and all through the house not a creature was censored, not even a mouse. But those who put up videos about space weather each day will be banned from posting in a group until it goes away. Facebook's admins, they kind of suck. And sorry about your share price. You seem to have come upon some bad luck.
Hey, thanks for watching, y'all. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. We'll be screwing around a lot more lately. We ain't traveling for Christmas. And the updates aren't going to stop. Remember, when watching sunspots rise, don't drink. And if you drink, watch the sunspots rise anyway.